the trial download. I'm playing on my WoW install, which has been on my computer forever. Okay, Mr. Inconspicuous Bear. Oh, I see. It's a druid. Yeah. It's a Worgen druid. Druids get a bunch of forms. One of those is bear form. Bear form is their essential, their tanking form. Which is interesting, I guess. If you're interested in rolling a druid, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite classes. Definitely my favorite healer. Allows you to play essentially any playstyle you'd like. In cat form, you become a rogue. In bear form, you play like a warrior. In moonkin form, you play like a mage, I guess. And in resto form, you're super sick healer. So they're really, really fun, very interesting. Lots of different playstyles. Great for somebody who, you know, likes to play a lot of different ways. They're also, in my opinion, one of the stronger healers. However, I have no idea if that's the truth anymore. Seems like they would be, but it has been a very long time since I raided, so any information about that it's out there. You could find it. I would roll the class, and I would roll, personally, I would roll the class you like to play, not the class that is the strongest. The flavor of the month classes, it'll be great until either they change the way the class works, or you know, basically what I'm saying is, like, if you roll the flavor of the month class, you run the risk of, oh, other side, okay. You run the risk of having what happened with my Death Knight, whereas, like, you know, the class will be really strong and you'll be really enjoying the playstyle and having a lot of fun, and then Blizzard will change the way the class works, or they'll nerf certain abilities, and then your character won't be fun anymore, and you'll have invested all this time in a character you don't find fun. Which I can speak from first-hand experience. I did with my Death Knight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the class I know I'll have fun with is the warrior, which is why I play warriors primarily. But I do have healers as well, because I do like to heal. It's another job I really enjoy. I like to fulfill important roles in the group. If I am playing a damage class, I want to be doing the most, you know, always. That's pretty, most people who play damage classes seriously will tell you they want to be at the top as well. And it's a good thing, you know, having people who can do damage and are good at it really helps when you're in a group or in a raid. Good DPS is always a good thing. Bad DPS is always a bad thing. Because, especially with enraged timers and heroic mode bosses and stuff like that, it's quite tricky when you have bad damage. Puts stress on everybody. Lots of cloth. Normally I would make bandages or try to sell it on the auction house and stuff like that, but because Lichy is so close to being finished, and I mean, I've showcased how to make bandages. I don't think I really need to showcase the trade skill of first aid beyond that, considering how survivable Fury Warriors tend to be and how much they're able to heal themselves. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. This guy's got a cool little snakehead mace. You can actually get that mace from one of the dungeons. Wailing Caverns, I believe. So, it's gonna be an actual cave. So you can see how Execute is hitting substantially harder now. It's a classic example of how abilities sort of level up with you. She used a shield, which is an ability priests get, where they can actually give you a hit point buffer through a shield. Kind of a neat ability, worth talking about. kind of messes with warriors because if you can't actually do damage, you can't actually gain rage. So I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if they changed that or not. But priests used to be pretty tough for warriors to take down, especially disciplined priests. I don't know if that's still the case. That was a long time ago. Wrath. The Burning Crusade player was playing. Warhammer of Strength is marginally better than our offhand. It's gonna look ugly though, yeah. Which is fine. I mean, you know, having Ugmo gear sucks, but you know, I'd rather hit harder than and look ugly than look pretty. Function over form, people. Function over form. So we are coming eventually to the end of this Let's Play. This probably will be well, it's very close, and so I'd like feedback, as much feedback as people are willing to give, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As I've said before, I'm sort of mulling over the idea of, you know, continuing on with it, and this is actually going to take us to Amber Mill, and I believe it's Amber Mill in the past. And so we're gonna kill people inside it. But yeah, you know, feel free to leave me feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. I won't say any more than that. I don't want to be accused of chat. You know, rate, subscribe, blah 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 blah. The next playthrough, as I said, will be SimCity, which I'm really looking forward to. SimCity 4. It's one of my very favorite games right now. I've played a lot of it. And my style, you'll find my style in SimCity is, I don't know if different is the right word. I tend to be a more macro scale builder. I don't really micromanage things. You know, if I have an area of undesirability, do my best to fix it, but I'm not going to sit there for hours and hours, you know, redeveloping the city to try to get that one little area to grow. I'll just move on. And hopefully let regional demand take over. And that's another game that I truly believe you need mods to be good, but I'll talk about that in that game's playthrough. Just trying not to have an awkward silence while I, you know, get these last quests done and finish the area. I guess maybe now I should just say, where do you go from here? The great thing about WoW is you have a lot of options. You can pick up trade skills as sort of something else to do other than level, to help break up the monotony of, you know, exclamation point kill question mark, which is sort of the routine of World of Warcraft. Trade skills help. I found that doing inscription on my goblin gave me something to do when I was bored and annoyed with leveling. You gain EXP through trade skilling, I believe. At least through collecting. There's another trade skill called Archaeology, which I don't know when you can start Archaeology, but it's Archaeology sort of gives you a lot of lore and gives you a lot of flavor, and allows you to explore the world. Those are both interesting options. I wouldn't start trade skilling until I've got a bunch of new abilities. I would start trade skilling until I got my first mount at level 20, which we, coincidentally enough, just got right here. Another pattern for green woolen bags. Probably not very valuable, but I would still check the auction house, just in case. Some random patterns can be, like, you know, randomly expensive. There's always a reason for it, but if you don't know, always check. Because you don't want to sell that, you know, that 500 gold pattern or whatever for nothing, essentially, to a vendor for 2 golds. You know, because money does get important, especially when you have to start buying gems and equipment enchantments, and there's a lot of World of Warcraft that I'm simply just not able to cover in the free version. So, you know, they're definitely going to be covered in other places. What I really wanted this to do is sort of the basics to get you started, and to get you into the game. There's, you know, I think there's probably more than 8 starting areas, although I'm not 100% sure. I think there is. So you definitely can take what you've learned from here and apply it to a different type of a character. Like if you wanted to roll a Draenei, or if you wanted to roll you know, a character like that, you could definitely do it. You know, that's, you know, you're not limited by just repeating what you've seen me do here. There are lots of other races you can play. On the Horde side, you have Trolls and Orcs, who I believe share a starting area. You have the Tauren, which have their own unique starting area. You have the Blood Elves, they have their own unique starting area. And then you have the Goblins, and I think that's everybody? Did I forget anybody? Orcs, Trolls, Taurens, Undead, Goblins, Blood Elves. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. I mean, not 100% sure, obviously, but... Destroy the field. Yeah. And you can just beat on him for rage. And when the Archaeos beads spawn, I'm just using tab to switch between them. And it looks as if these monsters are popping up your... If I had Thunderclap here, rather, if I had Cleave here, I would just be cleaving, but I don't. I'm at full rage. I don't need to really do anything. Because their rage meter's not going to go down. Just wait for them to spawn and kill them as they come out. They're sort of holding off the Forsaken invasion force here. He's got kind of a damage shield on him, so he can't hurt him. I might be doing it wrong. No. Maybe I have to do it all at once. I think so. Maybe I just have to get through all of his, like, all of his text menus. Oh, maybe shield's down to 80%. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, I see what's happening. Up to 80%. He should be getting overloaded. Yeah, there we go. So we disrupted the other dimension, I guess. I wasn't really paying attention to the quest lines, as tends to be what I do. So we got Battle Shout, which is a great shout. Increases our agility and strength. Lasts 2 minutes, and it generates 25 rage when we use it. So it's an ability you're going to find you're going to be pressing a lot. The new one is way better than the old one. The old one actually costs rage, and this one generates it and has a standard cooldown. That's one of the reasons why I took Booming Voice, because it allows you to have Battle Shout be on a 30-second cooldown. This is really nice. We got Heroic Throw, which is essentially like a high threat pulling ability, I think. I'm not 100% sure if it does anything else other than that. I think you can use it as a... Yeah, we'll take the chest. Enter the upgrade on the piece we just got. We're going to go down to Crom Crush and talk to Crom Crush. And you'll see I'm no longer able to gain EXP because I'm on the trial version. So in some respects, I probably would be like sort of hooping myself here, but not really. It's not something you have to particularly worry about. You know, if you want to play WoW, just get a version that allows you to get a version
I have no time for games.
that allows you to.
What are we?
Allows
Not
that.
slaves to this torment.
So the last one, yes. So now we get our 3 buddies: Godfrey, These guys behave just like